Hello, this is Greg Allison Greengraves coming to you on the 5th of November. Remember, the 5th of November. 5 November 21. Time on deck, 1300 hours Central Daylight Time. And tonight I bring you special guest.
We're very satisfied with the
Jessica Bodiford. Jessica happens to be my daughter. She's my oldest daughter. She is got a YouTube channel now. And she is quite the person to, be out promoting health and wellness and motivation. That's what her channel is all about. So Jessica, tell us about your channel and what you're doing and where you're going with life and the things you're up to.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So, well, thank you. My channel is all about health and wellness, and it's about taking care of you. So it's about self-care and really honing in on you, because if you aren't the best version of you, then you can't help other people. So it's really about teaching you different ways to really take care of yourself, so then you can take care of other people. And it's also about nutrition. It's about all the aspects of your holistic health. So it's about nutrition, it's about fitness, it's about managing your time, it's about cooking, it's about finding joy. It's, oh goodness, there's so many things. It's, there's, I'm trying to think of everything. There's so much. There's home cooking. There's, you finding the little things that just bring you your passion in life too. Like one of mine, like I love to bake, but I also run marathons. So, so it's finding the little nuances. Plus it's about, like your relationships and your kids and your family and your friends and spending time in communion with people. So it's about a lot of things, but overall it's about your health.
Well, it's like let that health be thy food, right?
Yes.
And more. So,
yes.
So give us the more. You were telling me about the more. It's more of a whole community thing, is it not?
Correct. Yeah. So I really just want to create like a space, and I know it's still new, but I want to create a safe space where people can feel loved and feel like they really can connect with their inner selves, for lack of a better term. So, but yeah.
My friend Gail from Rainbow Food Rocks is in the house, and she said she is beautiful.
Well, thank you.
I agree. I'm very blessed to have three outstanding, beautiful, good young children. They're not children anymore. You're all grown up now. Even my youngest. Jessica happens to be my middle child. She's my oldest daughter. And she's now got her own YouTube channel, and she's also getting into the idea of organic gardening, let the food be the medicine, and this more holistic community approach that she's taken. I'll show you her channel here in a moment. And yeah, we'll have to put the link in the description box, as Gail said. So, so tell me about your channel. We'll go to it here in just a second.
Okay. Yeah, so it's really just about teaching different ways to do different things. Like I've got, I think right now there's not that many videos up right now, but there's one on ways to like self-care. I'm working on one right now about, lifestyle hacks for busy people, because if you're like anything like me, you're very busy. And
no. Where would you get that idea?
Right. And, just little tips that can help you, manage your time, because it's important, and, I've been blessed this last 18 months since COVID hit. I get to work from home now, which is nice because I save hours of my day because I don't have to commute anymore. So that's nice. But,
for the purpose of restrictions on this platform, we refer to it as the bug.
Right. Yes. The bug. Yes, true. But yeah, so we've all been working from home. So for my day job, because I do have a day job too. So I do that. But
yeah. Day job, YouTube channel, little side business on top of that. You bake, right?
Right. Yes, I do. Yeah, I do bake. I have a cookie business. So I do those fancy sugar decorated cookies, and but I also love to do other kind of baking too. I mean, it's November, so it's time to bake out my pie dishes and bake some pies. And I do love a pumpkin pie. It's my favorite type of pie. I like to make cakes. I like to make like, you know, got a recipe on the refrigerator right now for banana bread. Kyle wants to make some banana bread. So that's really fun though. But I find a lot of joy in baking, and I find joy in creating my own recipes and tweaking them to be even better. So, because they're really good, because there is something true about loving what you're cooking and what you're baking, because it really, the more energy you put into food, you get that energy goes back to your body and is absorbed into your body. So that's one of the reasons why I want to plant a garden too. Because if you're growing your own food, then your love is going into the food that is in return coming back into your family. And that might sound like bananas.
No, yeah,
Like,
Gail,
I say
no,
that out loud,
hey,
and I'm like, oh, I kind of sound like a crazy person, but
no,
I
no.
think there's truth in it.
Gail with Rainbow Food Rock says the following: she sounds like me. Love it. All right, have a look at your channel here. Let's have a little peek at it. So I'm gonna do a share screen here, and we're gonna go over there first. It's gonna hit where we're at. Hang on, guys, I gotta move it over to here. Bing. This is Jessica's channel right here, and she's got a whopping 3 videos up here right now. She tells me she's working on another one. Of course, she's got to do that while she's doing her day job, her side business, and she's got 2 young, beautiful children that are under her feet every moment. And her youngest one, that the daughter is a real character. She's full of life.
Yes, she's spunky.
Spunky.
I don't know where that comes from. You know, she's opinionated. She's very self-opinionated, and she's set in her little ways, and she knows what she wants. So that's very good. So she's a born leader.
I don't know anybody like that.
Right? She's 4. You know, she picks out her clothes every day. She knows how to get. She knows what she wants for breakfast, and she knows the snacks that she wants. She knows how to work the computer better than we do, and can navigate to her own little YouTube channels that she watches.
Wow. Wow. 4 years old. You guys,
Yep.
if she's in the house, you know it.
Yes. Right now she's not. So she's at Kyle's parents' house, having dinner over there and hanging out for a few minutes.
That's convenient. So my daughter here, Jessica, she lives in the greater Houston area, and she's fortunate that her husband's parents live really close to them, and they really spoil the grandkids over there. And I'm jealous of that. I wish I could be closer.
They do,
but,
yeah.
I don't know that I could compete with them at all. They really spoil the kids. But
yeah. Well, they also live, like 3 blocks away, so there's that.
But take a look at this channel here, guys. So she's got 3 videos up right now: 4 healthy habits that would change your life, how to eat healthy on a budget, and 10 self-care tips, that anyone can do. So these are all little short, healthy videos. Like this one's 9 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and she's full of tips here. We might can just play part of one of these. Now she's better with sound effects and special effects in her video. She's got that down. So I think her channel should really take off. Guys, you need to subscribe to her channel because it's upbeat. If nothing else, watching all the short videos will make you feel better. And and we need a pick me up in these day and times with all the depressing stuff going on, the world going crazy. It really helps to see somebody who's living a good life and got a good, well-adjusted family that's giving tips on what you can do to improve your life and just general help. She does a lot of motivational stuff. So let's check one of these out.
$453,000 in affiliate commissions in 60 days without Amazon.
Oh, we got a commercial. Wow.
That you could be drinking. Instead.
Oh, hang on. It started in the beginning here. This is her first video.
Hi, my name is Jessica, and today I am going to give you 4 healthy habits that could change your life. If this is the first time catching me, hi, my name is Jessica.
Wow, the one chooses the wizard.
Yeah, I mean, I have a Harry Potter shirt on today too.
Have you seen my wand?
Well, if you notice, my background is all I've got all my Harry Potter stuff over there.
Oh, okay.
Jessica Bodiford, and I have 2 awesome kids. I am married. I live in the state of Texas, and I help other people build confidence through self-care. And today, again, I'm going to tell you 4 healthy habits that are going to change your life. So let's dig in. My 4th healthy habit that could change your life is to replace your sodas with carbonated water. Do you know that in a single 12-ounce can of Coke, there are 39 grams of sugar? This is 39 grams of sugar. Like, that's crazy. Like,
look at all her special effects. She's way better. I mean, got her music and everything going on, and just totally upbeat, positive. Holy smoke!
think if you're drinking, like, if you're just drinking 1 can of soda a day or 2 or 3, like, that could get ridiculous. Like, that is a lot of sugar. So just making that simple switch from your soda to your carbonated water can make a huge difference because you're cutting out all of this sugar. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story. Okay, so about 5 or 6 years ago, I was experiencing chronic migraines. Okay, and it was to the point where I was having 1 a week, 2 a week, sometimes 3 a week. It was dreadful. I went to all the primary care doctors, and I went to multiple primary care doctors who sent me to neurologists who told me that I might have a tumor, and they did all sorts of tests. They did MRIs, they did blood work, they did all sorts of stuff. And at the end of the day, all of the tests came back, and all of the doctors told me that I am just one of those people that has migraines. No, right? I'm like, this cannot be migraine medicine. They gave me things to manage, the pain. And I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, like, this is not okay, right? There's no way, right? So I started doing some research, and I had been to an acupuncturist before. And I figured, you know what, I'm going to try it again. Because at this point, like, I'm going to try anything, right? I go to an acupuncturist. He tells me to create a food journal. And he wanted me to write down every single thing that I ate and drank for 3 weeks solid. Everything, like snacks, like if I took a sip of water, like whatever it was. Write down everything for 3 weeks. And then and then also notate when I was having my migraines. And then at the end of the 3 weeks, go back and look for common denominators. I did that. And what I found was 5 or 6 years ago, before I was super healthy, and one of my favorite snacks was to have like a can of Coke or Dr. Pepper and a bag of Doritos or Cheetos or something like that, right? Not very healthy. Noticed that 30 to 45 minutes after, I would have a migraine. Or if I was eating, sometimes it was fast food, or sometimes it was when we made something that was from like a processed food, like one of those boxed foods from the grocery store or something like that. It got me thinking, like, what is in these foods? And what I found was that on all of the foods, one of the common denominators was, 1, they all had a ton of extra added sugar, and 2, they all had MSG in it. Those were the 2 things that were added to these foods that were causing my headaches.
Let me talk to that a minute. When I was in 2nd grade, I was having trouble in school. I was hyperactive, more so than normal, and I had like a headaches, and like things would like seem dark to me, and it was probably because I was eating so much sugar as a little kid. We used to have these mid-morning snacks at school, and there'd always be either sugar or real starchy foods, and I'd go home and would go to the store and get a candy bar or a Coke, and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's really what was affecting me. I think I would have been doing a lot better if I didn't have all that stuff in me. Sugar is sugar is so bad for you in so many ways, and starches, the breads and all that. It gets you. It will make you have a lot of other disease problems, multitudes of diseases that
Mhm.
come through that. That's how you get this inhibition to insulin take up in your cells. And that's the root of so many health problems that people couldn't imagine. And it's
Mhm.
cardiovascular. It's and sugar's like fuel for cancer. So that's why of course, we come to the holidays. You can't really avoid carbs and sugars in the holidays, so it's okay to binge every now and then, but you got to get away from it, for a
Mhm.
while. And I think the difference between me and my older brothers, that both of them got type 2 diabetes. I think reason I haven't is because I will binge it out, occasionally from time to time, especially around the holidays. But I have to escape from it and go low carb for a while to get myself
Mhm.
readjusted. I always feel better when I'm doing low carbs. My mind is clearer. I don't have a brain fog. So
Yeah.
there's a lot to be said for that. But what I love here is just your general upbeat, your positive attitude. That's you. That's my daughter, guys. That's how she is. This is how Jessica is. Hey, we got a guy in our chat room, Rex Bear. He's got a channel, almost 400,000 subscribers.
That's awesome.
Rex really had a lot to do with helping me launch my channel. He really helped a lot. So appreciate you being in the house, Rex. He's a good guy. We've had a lot of fun.
Hi.
So we got a lot of good people in here. We got 33 watching right now. But I hope everybody, a lot of people are enjoying it. So
Well, I want to touch base on something you said. You were talking about the low carb diet. And I think one thing that I hate the word diet, first of all, but that's a different subject, because, everybody's food, like food is medicine, right? But it can also be poison, right? Because the diet that is best for me might not be the same diet that's best for you, right? And I like to think of it more as like their nutritional plans are not diets, because people have this notion of the word diet, and it makes them, people fail at diets because they're not sustainable. They're like, oh, I can't eat sugar forever. And then, of course, that's not possible, right? Because everything has sugar in it. And eventually, you're going to have the cookie or the cake or whatnot. But the same food, or some people who only eat meat, or the vegetarians, that might work for some people, but that might not work for other people. I know Kyle and I tried the keto lifestyle for a while, and it worked fine for him, but it did not work for me, because I'm a runner, and I would go out and try to run, and I would get exhausted after 4 miles. And I'm like, I can't do my long runs, because I don't have my body doesn't have the energy that it needs, because my body has to have those carbs to sustain my runs. So that's something that people really need to take into consideration, that a diet and the way that you eat, your nutritional plan has to be catered to you. So it's not about one diet or one nutritional plan for everyone, because we are all individual people, and we were all individuals. And that means we have individual needs and individual, foods that can fuel us the best. So that's something that people really need to pay attention to too.
Amen. Basically, I'm a carnivore myself.
Right. I mean, I eat meat too. But I do, like, my body personally, I can survive on a lot of vegetables with a little bit of meat. I don't need a whole lot of carbs, but I do love sweet potatoes, and I love carrots, and I love things like that. So, like, I mean, I eat carrots almost every single day. I love carrots, right? But it's about finding the things that work for you. And it's important, like, if you're playing with your nutrition and you're trying to find those things, like, just keep a log of the food that you're eating and pay attention to the way that it makes you feel. Because if you eat something and then all of a sudden, like, if it makes you bloated, then note that down. And if you try it again and it happens again, then you know that that's not the best food for you. And if you eat something and it makes you feel amazing, and it's good for you, then that's amazing. Like, that's something that you should have more of.
Yes. And sweet potatoes, they are a little bit carbier, but they're complex carbs, and they're
good
loaded.
carbs.
Oh, they're so loaded with nutrition. They're actually good for you. And
yes. Yeah. I personally think it's something that's grown in the earth it's grown like it's not bad. Like people think that fruits are bad for you, but they're not. Like fruits are good for you because it's a good sugar. It's not a bad sugar. And fruits are packed with like really good antioxidants and fiber and things that your body actually really needs, and a lot of water, because we need to be drinking and consuming a lot of water. And you get that from more than just like the glass of water that you drink every day.
Well, I drink three things. I drink coffee. Oh yeah, look at this mug.
Mm-hmm. They look familiar.
That's her babies.
Yep.
Yeah,
They're bigger now.
That's all three of us. That's all of us together there. And I drink tea. One of my viewers
I pretty
gave
much
me
drink water and coffee, black coffee.
yeah, I drink black coffee, only black coffee. And I do drink water, but I'm not drinking near as much water as I used to. I'm mostly surviving on tea and coffee, unfortunately, because I don't take my sleep lying down. I take it in a cup.
But I also think that there's nothing wrong with cream too. It's just the sugar that you shouldn't be putting in your coffee, you know, because dairy is good for you too. You just have to choose good dairies from, you know, animals that aren't packed full of chemicals and, you know, things of that sort. So, yeah.
Well, okay. So you were telling me that one of the important things, though, is how you live your life. It's your community, your family, your relationships that add value to your life, and keep you in a good mood and help. Actually, that does a lot for your health and your immune system. People that have those good community relations live longer. If you got the good family relations, you live longer. And when I was growing up, and Jessica was fortunate to catch the tail end of this, we used to have all these big family get-togethers and big family reunions and holidays and Christmases and picnics and reunions, just big family get-togethers. And, you know, there would be good food and company, and that meant a lot. And it used to not just be families, the whole neighborhoods was like that. Everybody would pitch in, help each other. Everybody knew each other. And these days, you don't even know who your neighbors are half the time. But, you know, and like Jessica, she's moved out of state. She's in a state that, you know, where she didn't grow up, and they're living in a different community. But she's going to her church. She finds a community through her church and other organizations. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So I think community is huge because, like what you said, and it's true from culture to culture, like it's been proven, like people who have a strong communion and community that you're a part of, it like those people live longer because they're happier. Like we're fortunate enough, like we found a church and we found a community of people in that church, and we have a core set of friends that also have, a lot of them have kids. And of course the kids range from age, you know, like some of them are, you know, almost in college, and some of them are, you know, like 4 months old. So it's a huge range, you know, but our kids are kind of in the middle. And so are a lot of other ones, and they play together. And there might be, you know, like a 3 and 4 year old with, you know, our now 4 and 9 year old, you know, and they play together. But also the parents, us, we get to hang out with people that are similar to us, with beliefs that are similar to ours, and we can just relax and be ourselves. And that's super important. And you always leave those types of meetings, and when you hang out with your friends and you have dinner or whatever it is you're doing, like you always feel better about yourself. And I think that's important too, because if you're hanging out with people who, when you leave, if you feel bad and you feel down, like that, those are not your people. It's really important to hang out with people who lift you up, because it really is. You were talking about positivity earlier, but that's one of the things that I strive for every day, is how, like, I think about that every day. Like, how can I spread love into the world? How can I spread positivity in the world? Because the world needs it, because there's so much negativity everywhere. It surrounds us in the news. It's in our Facebook feeds. It's in so many places everywhere. And it's just about blocking that out and putting love in the place of the negativity. And eventually that'll overtake the world, and it'll make the world a better place.
Amen. You know, I got a challenge. I started out with an urban gardening channel, and it evolved into a prepping channel. You know, we get a lot of challenges in our world today, and they're scary. And so I do report on those to people. And, you know, some people, that can cause a lot of consternation and worry. But I also try to balance that, because I tell everybody, and in a lot of my videos, telling people the following: I said, as light dispels darkness, love dispels hate. And I
Mhm.
challenge everyone to go out and shine their love light into the world, because
Yeah.
that's part of the solution for a lot of these problems and ills that we have. And a
Mhm.
lot of them do start with family or lack of family and lack of community. Our kids are being raised by the wolves these days because it's often a single mom at home alone trying to raise her kids, and she's working. She don't have that much time with them. So the kids wind up in schools or daycares, and they're out being raised by the wolves. And when they're not in
Mhm.
school and daycare, mom may still be at work. And so they're out there with each other, and they're forming gangs and getting in trouble. They don't have any foundation. They don't have anything to go on in life. They don't have
Mhm.
families, communities. So we need to find ways to rebuild these communities and extended families and get people connected and get people away from negative relationships and negative people. And maybe to help those people that are pulling other people down, we need to find some way to get them engaged in things that are hopeful. And
Mhm.
so we need to find ways that that a lot of these lost people can have hope. And I think
Well,
that's
gardening is a good one because, like the urban gardens are really good at pulling those communities together and getting the kids who might be doing things that are bad to not do those and then go walk in a garden and, like participate in that. And I've seen that, there's studies across, like, I think it was like, and there's a huge community in New York now where they're planting these urban gardens and like old, like abandoned alleyways that are overgrown now, and they're now becoming a safe space for people to go and to enjoy. So they're not doing the horrible things that they could have been doing or used to be doing. Now they're doing good things, or they're stopping and getting an apple and eating an apple instead of, a Snickers bar, or, so it's good.
and if they have a hand in growing it, then they're more motivated toward that, and they
Mhm.
get connection with the land and the food, knowing where it really comes from. Food is not manufactured in the back of the grocery store. some
True.
people, some people
Yeah.
seem to think that the food comes in plastic packages, and yuck.
Yeah, it's like when you said we got some cucumbers at the store, and because we order a lot of our groceries online and go pick them up because it's one of the time saving things that we do. And the English cucumbers are wrapped in plastic, and I was like, that can't be good to have your produce wrapped in plastic. So it's little things now that I'm thinking about that I might not have thought about 4 months ago or a year ago, that now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, that's like, no, our food shouldn't be wrapped in plastic. It should be pure, and it should be, I also think now that I know, it's like knowledge is power, right? The food should be grown local to where you are, because that's going to be the most nutrient valued food that you can eat. And it also has to be grown in a way that's free from the toxins and the poisons that people are putting into the ground.
There's two sides of this growing local. One, the longer the food's on the shelf, the longer it's in transit, the more the vitamin and nutrient decay happens in the food. It starts losing vitamins. It starts losing nutrition pretty soon after it's picked. And two, because stores want food that lasts on the shelf for a long time, they breed for carrots that last on the shelf for a long time. So you're really eating carrot flavored wood. I mean,
right.
When you go get stuff from organic gardeners that are growing all their little specialty species, you get these really sweet, tender carrots that they're divine. And it's that way with all kinds of vegetables, not just that, across the board. So you get better tasting, more healthy vegetables, and it's good for the environment and the economy. It helps your local economy out. You're not burning a lot of diesel fuel to truck something all the way across the country. You don't have all the processing, packaging, and all this stuff involved. Now, it does cost more for somebody to grow a small garden because they don't have the economies of the scale of the big factory farms. So you might pay a little bit more for it. But the farmer is not making a whole lot of money, but it helps them, and it helps your local community. It keeps the money there. And instead of putting it in the pockets of the big corporations, we need to be, and you're empowering people that are self-employed instead of people that work for the man. They don't want us to be independent, really. They want us all to be subservient to some higher company or order. So there's a lot of advantages to this. And one of the key advantages to growing your own is that you get to be empowered by just the act of growing plants and seeing it there is a psychological reward to that. It's also related to what we call a nature bath. And walking in the garden is a nature bath. And if you can walk out in the forest or the garden and do that, and more often you do that, it adjusts your attitude, your spirit. It gives you, it just lifts your spirit enormously. If we have more greenery in the cities, people won't be so depressed. So we got to find ways to fight this depression, these negative energies that are acquired in cities and concrete and steel by returning life. Life.
Yeah, I also think people need to know that just because you go to the store and you see that something's organic, that doesn't mean, which is better than conventional, but I mean, you know, like baby steps, right? But just because it says organic doesn't mean that it came, that piece of whatever it is, produce, came from somewhere local. That could be coming, it could be shipping in from another country. Like, you don't know where that was grown. So that's another good reason to like go to your farmers markets or plant your own garden, is because you actually know where the food is grown, because you can't trust. And a lot of those other countries, like, they don't have any like, there's nothing that proves what they're doing is actually organic. Like there's no processes in place that will keep them in check. So you don't, just because they put a label on it, like, do you actually know? Like, another soapbox.
Well, there you go. So, yeah, I'm watching this on my laptop, so it's hard for me to jump back and forth and share a link. So I have to go back to my main computer to do that. But I really love that you're getting into this, and so, but you're also studying to be a health coach. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm still new into it. So I'm about 2 months into a year-long course, and a lot of it is about your health, right? It's all about health. It's about holistic health, which is all aspects of your health, but a main portion of it is going to be your nutrition. But health is more than just the food on your plate, right? So yes, that's very important, and the food that you're eating and you're nourishing your body with is extremely important. But the other parts that are important are the communities that you have, you're exercising. Like, exercise is huge. Like, when you go and exercise, like, I know when I'm a marathon runner. I know I'm crazy. It's okay. I'll admit it. But after I'm done going to a run, or I do like a local dance class, you know, like, after I'm finished, like, I love the way that it makes me feel. And that's self-care. You know, that's taking care of you. It's about journaling and writing down your thoughts. It's about meditation. It's about spending time reading, or, you know, even watching your favorite TV show. Like, that count, you know, like, whatever it is that makes you happy and brings you joy, like, you should be doing more of those things. But it's also about moderation too, because you can't just sit down and binge watch TV for 12 hours straight all the time. Once in a while is fine, but you know, like, not every day.
Well, I don't even watch TV anymore. I don't have time.
Yeah, like, I can tell you what kids television is popular.
Yeah, I used to know all about Inspector Gadget when you were a kid.
Yeah. Well, it's different because when Braden was little, we actually had cable back then, and we've hence ditched cable, and we just have internet in the house. So now, you know, Braden knows how to binge watch Netflix. He goes through TV shows, but he doesn't do it all the time, but he loves to play. So he's very active. You know,
he is active and he is smart. You've got two beautiful, very smart kids.
Yeah.
And you're quite blessed with that beautiful family. And a lot of it just comes from the heart. You know, you always had a good heart. You found a good husband, and he's got good parents, and it's a beautiful situation. And this is something that people should strive for. And a lot of it goes back to goals. We need to find ways to inspire goals in a lot of our populace who seems to be lost. Gardening is a good one. Improving the community is a good area. People can become involved and engaged in positive things. We just need to find ways to set that up, and maybe community organizations or something, just to pull people into things that are positive and away from all the negativity.
And I also think it's about teaching your children too, because it all starts in your home unit too. Because if you, as a parent, like, one of my goals is to be a good role model for my kids, so that when they grow up, they know how to be a good role model for their children, or the people around, or their friends and family and the people that are around them. Like when I'm not there, like I'm not at your house anymore, and haven't been for years. But it's about passing along those things. It's about the family time. It's about carving out that time with your family too, because that's where it starts. It starts in your home, and you have to get that love right in your home too.
Amen. Amen. That's where it really starts. The family is the basic unit. The family is, that's your core. You need that some safe place, safe space to go back to, especially children. They need that nurturing safety in their mom and dad as much as possible. Now, it may not always be possible. A lot of people have gotten married and, with the partner goes gaga or, gets hooked on drugs or, you can't be in a relationship with somebody who's beating on you.
True.
I totally get that. But, these are people that are having psychological problems when they're doing all that typically, and they need help. I don't know, some people, they can get so far down a rabbit hole, you don't know. A lot of them just don't seem to want help, or it's hard to help them. But then I think it still goes back to goals. I think the one reason they're lost is they don't have a goal. They never had that role model. So we got to rebuild our society one family at a time, and family unit is the basic unit. And I'm just, it thrills me to see that there's still young people like you out there that are doing that, that are building good families and raising good kids who I expect will also build good families. And Gail says she's so proud of you both.
Thank you.
Rainbow Food Rocks in the chat room when you go back and watch the video. And you check her channel out. You and her,
I will.
her would get along fabulously. You run marathons and she hops up mountains like a grasshopper. Just
that sounds like fun too. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, with a harness, maybe not free because I'm a little clumsy. But
well, it's not so much rock climbing, but she definitely scales some heights real fast in some of those mountains. And the funny thing is, you run, as you remember when you were growing up, I ran a lot. I never ran a marathon, but I would run 12 miles every other day for years. But I kind of messed myself up then because I would also run when I was a little bit on the weighty side, and I messed up my foot. I got the plantar fasciitis, which is commonly known as a bone spur. So I took up riding bicycles, and that kind of messed up my knee. So then I used to ride bike about 20 miles every other day.
Well, that's your problem, is you're going too far.
Probably.
You got to scale it back. Like I don't run 26 miles every other day. I only do one long run a week, and then the rest of the week and I don't run every day. Like I ran a half marathon, so I took a couple of days off. But it's because the half marathons are different than just a long run, but that's a whole nother conversation. But like you have your 3-mile run, and you have a 4-mile run or a 6-mile run, and then you have your long run depending on what you're training for. Like right now I'm in like limbo land because I don't have anything coming up, so this weekend I was like, I'll run 8 or 9 miles tomorrow because why not? Because I can, right? But I also have a running community. Talking about communities, that's another good way to find communities, is you have one of the things, if you like to run or you like to work out or you like to garden, you just find those groups in your community and you join them. I have a great running community that I'm a part of, that we meet up on Saturdays and we run. We meet up on Sunday mornings before church and we run, and it's at the crack of dawn, but that's what time you run in Houston because it's 1,000 degrees outside. Although right now it's cooler. Like it was in the 40s today, and we all brought out our coats because it was cold. I had to turn on the heater like I'm cold. But running in the cold also makes you run faster. So there's that. But that's also a really good way to find your local communities, is through, something that you like to do, like running or, baking or whatever it is, painting or pottery or dancing or, there's the options are endless.
See, that goes back to community. You have a running community. I always ran by myself. I've been too much Lone Ranger most of my life, I guess. But and the other thing is creativity. If you can get involved with something and exercise your creativity, your artistic self, that also brings out the positive. And that's what you do in baking. Your little pastries and cakes you bake, every one of them's a work of art. And you decorate them like, it's like, wow. That'd be your kids. When I was at your kid's birthday party a couple of years ago, Braden, he had the most beautiful cakes, and it was just amazing. how you would decorate. Oh, we got a super chat from Brian Perendi. Thank you, Brian. You say, here, have a Jolly Rancher. So, yeah. So tell us about just being creative and how you think that fits in with mental well-being.
Well, I've always been creative. Like I grew up in theater. I grew up, I think one of the first things I wanted to do was be a writer, and then that didn't pan out. But I did work in theater for a really long time, and I made costumes, and I love to craft, and I've made all sorts of different crafts. Like if you look in our house, like you'll find like various things that and Kyle's very creative too. Like he's a carpenter and he loves to create little art projects out of wood or metal. And that's how he's creative. And I learned that I do love to bake, right? So that's one of the things, because it's about kind of like a science project in my head a little bit, like the baking part of it. But then you get to the decorating and it's about mixing the colors, and it's about coming up with the designs and the time to do it. And it takes forever. I'm not even gonna lie about that. But the end process, like when you do something and it turns out the way that you wanted it to look like in your brain, like it's very satisfying, and they're like, oh, you can see, like I can look at pictures of things that I bake now and the cookies that I can decorate now versus 3 years ago. And it's like, night and day, the difference. And part of that's because of practice, because I've made lots and lots of cookies. But that's true with anything. If you work at it all the time, every week, you're gonna get better at whatever it is that you're working on. So that's true for anything. But I love the creativity, because it really just, like, I get into a zone when I'm decorating things, especially cookies, because they're so small and intimate. And I just get laser focused in, and time just disappears. I look up and it's like 4 hours later and I'm like, oh, okay. But I love it.
Lovely. Well, that's one thing that we should encourage people to be involved in, is things that are creative. Being creative gives you that sense, and it's in the book of Genesis, it said we're made in the likeness of the Creator, and a part of that is being creators. We get to be creative, and it's very rewarding to be creative, and that's another thing that could promote positive energy and help dispel the depression that so many people have today.
Oh, art is amazing.
And all three of my kids are very artistic. My oldest is my son, and he actually owns a tattoo studio. And he does very beautiful artwork. Now, I personally don't have a piece of ink in me. I got a little graphite from a couple of pencils. That's the closest thing I got to tattoo.
Yeah. I have a little one. Kyle has a really good one of Braden when he was in his, I think it was his first Halloween costume. He did a really pretty one on his arm. He wants to get one of Adeline too. But there's the time strain and things like that. So but no, he's very talented. Angela's very talented too.
Oh yeah. So you were in the theater, and actually my youngest daughter was in the theater too. So both my daughters were in the theater. She also did the singing, the opera. She had a YouTube channel of her own, but she took it down because she's very private. She don't want to be seen, which is kind of unfortunate, because she sings beautiful. It's beautiful singing. I hate it when she took it down.
Well, your grandson's a dancer.
Oh, there you go.
So he's in ballet and jazz and all sorts. He does taekwondo and tumbles, and he's in the Nutcracker production at his dance school, and so that's going to be in next month. So technically I'm in it too. They needed adult volunteers, and I'm not shy. So
I like to do poetry, and I used to draw a lot when I was in high school. So I can see where a lot of that spread out from there.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm amazed at what you do. I'm amazed at how well you put it together. Life's a challenge. There's always challenges. Nothing ever goes quite the way you want it to, and there's one challenge after another. But you always come up smiling.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you have to choose joy.
There you
every day you have to choose joy. You have to, because you have a choice to make every day. You can choose to be positive or you can choose not to be positive. And personally, I don't have the energy not to be positive. It's a lot less energy just to be positive and to be happy than, because being negative, ugh, no thanks. I don't have time for that.
And that's what confuses a lot of people when they come to my channel. I talk about stuff that blow the world up and I'll be laughing. And they go, what? You know, there's other YouTubers that talk prepping topics and they'll get in front of their camera and go, "Rah, rah, 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 rah." You know, it's like,
Yeah, I
hey.
turn those people off. Usually I tell Kyle, I'm like, I can't. They're yelling. I don't like the yelling.
It's like,
He's
it's
watching a
rough
news
going.
channel. I'm like, they're yelling. I can't do this. I can't watch the yelling. Like
Sometimes they're not yelling, they're just very intense. And it's,
yeah. Well, to me, that's yelling to me. So the very intense, like they might not be yelling, but they're very like high strung, and you're like, whoa, like take it down a notch.
I think they're well meaning, and that's their way of communicating. It resonates with a lot of people.
Oh,
But
it does. Yeah.
we have to
Just
keep,
not me.
even though there's a lot of challenges in our world, even though there's a lot of negativity, and that's the reason I tell people to prep. If you are prep, you can feel more positive about things. Like when a bug started going around, when a lot of people got scared and went out and grabbed toilet paper, I already had it. I was kind of laughing at it. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Check. That was already covered in my neighborhood, in my house.
Right.
And
That's another good reason to have a garden.
exactly. You can have more confidence when you've got that kind of stuff backing you up. You grow in a garden. You got, you know, some food supplies and things like that, ways to sanitize and purify water. Then you know when the hard times hit, you're better prepared to take care of yourself and your family. And that's what it takes. And there's no point in being negative and scared of everything. I tell people, don't lose your head. You might lose your head, and never panic.
Yeah.
You
Well, you
can't-
shouldn't live in a state of fear.
That's right.
Like that's a horrible way to live. You know, like don't live in anxiety, don't live in fear, because then you're just going to constantly be there. You have to be positive, and you can't live in fear, and you can't live in the what if status, because then that's not living.
That's true. Now, I do cover a lot of topics that scare people's socks off if they dwell on them. But I've covered those for two reasons. One, so that people will know they got to be prepared. And two, they can take action. We can do things. We can call our Congress critters. And that's the best way to call them, is critters, right? We can call them, we can contact them. I got a website called Freedom Restoration Foundation. It gives you all kind of information on how to do that. And, you know, at some point, they got to listen to you. Especially when enough people get banging on their doors, you know, they mostly just want to listen to the corporate bigwigs who give them the money to run their campaigns. But if enough people start beating on their doors, they might get concerned and worried, oh, I may not get this next election, because people don't like this. You got to rattle their chains, and it does have effectivity. I've had major impacts on the space program through my political activism I've done, and you know, so that's all part of it. And there's many ways to be creative. Whether you're baking a cake, growing a garden, or whether you're making a rocket motor.
You know, just one of the random things that I tell people is like, oh yeah, my dad's a rocket scientist and he's also a worm farmer. Oh, let's unpack that for a minute.
They go together.
Yeah, so he's got a rocket motor under his desk. You know, like there's a spaceship in the backyard. It's pretty much like, you know, it's like the frame these days, but you know, it was actually like, you know, like I remember the capsule when it came to the house. You're like, oh yeah, there's a spaceship in my backyard. I'm weird. Hi, I'm Jessica.
Don't everybody have a spaceship in her backyard?
Right. It was like, oh yeah, and there was that thing that, like, you know, there was that thing that we had in the backyard for a while, is the contraption where they train in and they get in and they spin them around. We had that in the backyard for a while.
I saw that to a rabbit farmer. He wanted to exercise in. He said,
okay.
Yeah, you got great full body exercise in that thing. And he just saw that and he just fell in love and he wanted it. He wanted it real bad. I sold it to him for $2,000.
That works.
Hey, all it cost me was the gas to go get it.
Right? Like, yeah, that works, you know.
Yep. So, yeah, life is interesting. It can be. So how's life in Houston? Speaking of that.
It's good. Like I don't get out much because I, stay home most of the time. But like we have our little circle that we go to, and but life is good in our little circle. So people are healthy and thriving and happy, and it's all good things.
So let me let's just go back and look at some at your channel again here. Share screen. Go back here. For those just coming in, this is my daughter. This is Jessica, my oldest daughter. This is we're right in the middle of this YouTube video here. So let's see if I can hit the play again.
Were the common denominators. So what did I do? Cut out the sugar. I cut out the soda, the Dr. Pepper, the cans. Like I would have at least 1 can of Dr. Pepper a day. And the Dr. Pepper has 40 grams of sugar in a 12 ounce. This is 39. This is a can of Coke. Like crazy, right? Crazy. I cut that out. Okay. So if you don't like carbonated water, like that's okay. There are lots of alternatives that are healthy alternatives that you could be drinking instead of sodas. But the one thing that I recommend is definitely to replace your sodas with either carbonated water or another healthy alternative. So that is my 4th healthy habit that could change your life. My 3rd healthy habit that could change your life is to go to bed at least a half an hour earlier. Okay.
All right. That's about all I get in bed. That one I blow out. That one is one I'm bad on.
I know.
Yeah.
Like we're all busy. We all have stuff to do. We have a million things to do. We have piles of laundry. We have sinks of dishes. We have work to finish. We have all sorts of things that keep us up at night, right? Okay. We have TV shows to watch. We all have the things. But the thing is if you can just go to bed at least 30 minutes earlier, sleep is so important. Sleep helps your body repair itself. And that's the time when you're sleeping is that all of the cells in your body are building and they are renewing themselves. And your body is actually repairing itself. It's amazing. So sleep is so important, friends. And so just try 30 minutes earlier a day and see what it does for you. So that's my 3rd healthy habit that could change your life. My 2nd healthy habit that could change your life is that you need to take a few minutes, whether it be 2 or 3 minutes or 5 or 6 minutes, it's up to you, but take a few minutes every single day to just be still. Take the time, take a few deep breaths, recenter yourself, and be still. Clear your mind. Now, whether you do it.
Clear your mind. I get this image from what was that Mars movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger? where that guy was in the he was the oracle and he was in somebody's belly. You know, clear your mind.
I don't remember that, but I'll trust you on that. But no, I do think meditation is
Yes.
very important. So I try to meditate at least a few minutes every morning. But yes, I think it's very important. Also, it's about breath, like your breath control. So even if you're
Breath control. And yes, I'm sure Rainbow Food Rocks, Gail Angeles would agree with that. She's very much into that. And you're also very much into your church. So just to let people know that, that meditation is not it's not anti-Bible, guys.
no, there are multiple scriptures about meditation in the Bible. So it's very much part of, it can be part of your prayer process. It could just be part of just your stillness. But, you know, whatever your practice is, I personally believe in Christianity, but it's consistently in the Bible about being still and meditating and trust.
Trust. All right, my friend from Maine, you days old ways, Katie says Total Recall. She's brought me up on the movie.
Oh,
and
you know, I don't think I've ever seen that movie all the way through.
That's weird.
That's probably why.
Arnold says Maz. He calls it Maz. Gotta go to Maz. And so we got a Scratch said he can't live without Dr. Pepper. And somebody in the room called me goes, I haven't had a soda in 25 years.
Good for them. Yeah, that's great.
Amen.
Yeah. I don't think I haven't had a soda in, at least 6 or 7 years. I don't remember exactly when it was, but it was a long time ago.
Well, it's been a long time since I've had one. It's probably been 10 years. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember exactly, but well, maybe it was 6 because we've been in this house for about 6.5 years. And I think it was around when we moved in that we stopped drinking soda. So it was about, between around 6.5 years-ish.
Yeah, I haven't been big on sodas in a long time. I don't know, way back. And I never was that big on them. But,
Yeah.
but you know,
And diet sodas are even worse than the regular sodas.
Amen. The aspartame.
Like, ugh. Bleh.
My buddy
Gross.
Rex Barry from the Leap Project refers to that as genetically modified E. coli feces.
Ew. Ew.
Put it in perspective.
It's
About
a
right.
nice mental image. Yuck.
Yeah. So next time you reach the aspartame, think about that or anything that artificial is in. That stuff, you know, they used to use that stuff for rat poison, guys.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
they say it really it's a excitoneuratoxin, frankly, and people that drink a lot of stuff with aspartame get their nerve endings desensitized to a large degree, and it really takes away from the quality of your life. So
Well, it's crazy what people put in foods too. So you have to, because like the aspartame is awful, but like another reason to buy organic chickens. This one might blow some people's minds. Okay. The conventional farmers, I guess the chicken farmers, I guess they're farmers. I don't know if they're called farmers or not, but anyway, people who grow chickens, will inject them with arsenic. And what that does, and it's a small amount now because it's actually regulated by the FDA, which is the fact that they would even allow that is crazy. But it helps the chickens grow bigger. So that's why the chicken breasts are huge, which is not necessarily good. But it also helps them fight off parasites. But you don't want to eat chicken that has arsenic in it for obvious reasons. So buy the organic chickens that are grass fed. I know it's hard for chicken, like when you're shopping for chickens, like you don't see the grass fed, but when you're shopping for the beef, like make sure you're looking for grass fed and grass finished or 100% grass fed beef. So because you don't want all the things that they're injecting these animals with to make them bigger and like, no, don't do that to your body.
Okay.
Because that transfers to you.
Well, let me tell you a little story about arsenic in chicken. Do you know your granddad had a connection to that?
Well, there was chicken coops all in that area, so it doesn't surprise me.
Okay, well, let me tell you, it's funny you're talking about this because let me tell you a story. When I was a kid, a young lad, your granddad was a USDA federal poultry inspector. He was president of the Southeastern Union, of inspectors. So, this thing of being, he used to go to Washington, D.C., and he would fight the industry because he said it's full of graft and corruption. He would fight the industry. And one of the things my dad did was made the Secretary of Agriculture, your granddaddy made the Secretary of Agriculture, Earl Butz, who tried to wipe out small farms and go to force everything to big industrial farms. He made him out to be a liar on a national program on ABC News Network. ABC News crews came to our house twice when I was a kid. The first special was called Green Grow the Money. And this was in the 70s and mid 70s and mid to early 70s. So they went out to he told everybody, he says, look, they're putting arsenic in this chicken feed. And, the regulations were they were supposed to discontinue it so many weeks before slaughter. And my dad said, they're not doing that. They're feeding them the arsenic all the way to the time they come pick them up to take them to the chicken plants. And they switched from my dad saying that to interviewing Earl Butz directly and asking him point blank, do they do this? And Earl Butz categorically denies, no, they're not doing that. They take it out, blah, blah, blah. And then the next thing, they were at a chicken house where they just gathered chickens to go to a chicken plant, gathering the feed. It was in the feeders, and they tested it, and it showed the arsenic was there. So my dad, with ABC News help, my dad got to make his big boss, because he worked for the Department of Agriculture. He made a liar out of his boss. He made a liar out of Earl Butts, and the last name fit very well, I guess, because that's what he showed him to be. And he was not a friend of the small farmer. Let me tell you that. This was under the Nixon administration. So Dad was very active politically and things like that. He hated the graft and the corruption. And, he lived to be 3 weeks shy of being 99-year-old. And he had several other poultry inspectors with him, and they grew their own chickens. They wouldn't eat the chickens from the chicken plants. So that should tell people a lot right there. When the people that are involved in the industry don't want it, and they're pointing this out, there's a whole lot to that. So just know that, everyone. This is what we're talking about here. That you picked up on that and start talking about that. I thought that was funny. You didn't know that story, did you?
I didn't. No. That's a good story. But it's true though. It's the things that people don't know. It's all about knowledge, and it's like you said, like I'm studying to be a health coach, and one of the seminars that I was watching, it was talking about farming, and it was talking about this one was talking about cattle farming, and how one of the farmers was always saving one calf to grow for his family that he wasn't ingesting with the chemicals, and then then he realized his hypocrisy and switched to a non-conventional farm after that. But it's it's the fact that it's true, like the farmers save off one, like the chickens, or that they feed their families, and then they give all the rest of them to the rest of us, and you're like, that's not okay.
There you go.
And yes, it does cost more, but it's also going to save you more money, because if you're ingesting a lot of arsenic and then you end up in the hospital, that hospital bill is going to be a lot more expensive than that the better chicken was.
There you go. Unfortunately, a lot of us in our busy lives, we eat what we can grab fast, and I'm guilty of that myself a lot of times.
Yeah.
So we're here talking about Mars movies now, like Mars Attacks. Scratch said Zorg, our good friend Rex Bear has a Zorg character from Mars Attacks.
Sometimes I feel like I live on Mars.
Well, I feel like with all the things going on today that we're actually living in a multitude of grade B sci-fi movies right now.
That's the truth.
So it's kind of scary. New Day as always says, great interview, Greg and Jessica. Greg, the apple does not fall far from the tree. Well, thank you. Well, I'm proud of my kids. I'm proud of all of them. I've got beautiful children, and they're doing well, and they're all standing on their own 2 feet and chasing their dream. And that's the key thing in life, that you have a dream and you chase it. You set your goals and you go after them. And you've definitely done that. And you're exceeding very well at it. And your attitude, your happiness is a great reflection of that.
Thanks.
And so, and you've got 2 very beautiful kids, and I just love all you to death, and as all my children and grandchildren. And so I'm really happy to be able to share here on my channel, one of my kids who's got her own YouTube channel, just started out. So, and people come in and out of these videos when we do a live session. So just for those that are new,
always. Yeah.
We'll skip back and play a little bit more of your video here. So we'll do a share again, share screen, ding, ding. So this is her first video again, guys. This is some of it.
But first thing in the morning, or right before you go to bed, or whatever time during the day, just make sure that you find a place in your house or your home or wherever your car, or wherever it is, that's quiet, right? If you have kids, it doesn't have to be a long period of time. Just take 2 or 3 minutes and just be still. So that is my second tip for a healthy habit that could change your life. Okay. I personally have my quiet moments in the morning. That's what I do. But my schedule and your schedule are 2 completely different schedules, and you have to do what's best for you. Okay. So that is my second tip. And my number 1 healthy habit that could change your life is to stop stepping on the scale. Okay. The scale is a liar. It is an evil little contraption made by some evil person in the world who makes you obsessed with numbers. Okay, so you get on it, you stand on it, and it has the numbers, and you're like, I'm going to change, and they fluctuate during the day, and it's it drives you crazy. You become obsessed with it, and you're like, well, what are the numbers going to be today? And tomorrow you're like, what are the numbers going to be today? And you measure yourself in the morning. You weigh yourself in the morning, and then you weigh yourself at night, and you're like, oh, what are the numbers? You become obsessed. It's crazy, right? Okay, stop it. Stop. I know you've heard this before, but 5 pounds of fat is way bigger than 5 pounds of muscle, which is lean, which is what we want. We want to be lean, right? 5 pounds of muscle is what we want. We don't want 5 pounds of fat. Your weight can fluctuate during the day. You know, it can go up and down 2 to 3 pounds, just basically, mostly based on water weight, right? So you can't trust the scale. But what you can trust is a tape measure. And that is what I recommend. And if you are new to your journey and you're just starting out, you know, what I do recommend is measuring yourself just as a baseline so you know where you're starting from. And then, you know, put it away, put it in a drawer, don't look at it for a month. And then every month, pull it out and remeasure yourself. And this is where the transformation happens, because as you're measuring yourself and you're pulling it tighter and tighter, and you're seeing your waist shrink smaller and smaller, and you're seeing your hips shrink smaller and smaller, and you're seeing your belly fat just melt away, that is when you're like, yes, that is the transformation that you want. That is what you want to do. So once a month, just pull out the measuring tape, measure yourself, put it away, and do it once a month. And stop stepping on the scale, because it will drive you crazy. It will drive you crazy. So stop it. So that is my number one tip. Stop stepping on the scale. So if you're enjoying this video, which I hope you are, I hope that you will subscribe. I hope you will ring the bell. I hope you will comment and share and do all the things. I really would appreciate it. And I hope you found this helpful. And I would love to know which one of these is your favorite healthy tip. And also, if you have a healthy habit that you practice every single day, I would love to know what it is. Like, I would love to know what your healthy habit is that you incorporate in your daily routine. To recap, the 4 healthy habits that could change your life. Okay. Number 4 is to replace your sodas with carbonated water. Number 3 is to go to bed at least 30 minutes earlier. Number 2 was just to take a few minutes to still your mind and be quiet, be still. And my number 1 healthy habit that could change your life is to stop stepping on the scale. I hope you found this valuable, and I would love to know your thoughts. I hope you have a wonderful day. And as always, be kind to yourself and practice gratitude.
Wow, that's highly professional. Very good video.
Well, thank you.
Very
But yes,
talented.
the scale is evil. So yeah, if you have one, throw it away.
In the Finder channel, you can check the link I've been posting, or just search on Jessica Bodiford. It's easy to find. And you can go down here and look. She's got 3 videos. Last 30 days, only 40 views. So I expect you guys to blow that up and blow up her subscribers. I think you already got some subscribers today. What was your subscription earlier?
I think I was in the upper 80s. So yes.
106 right now.
Yes. Well, thank you.
So we're going up. So everybody blow her channel up. Everybody jump in and subscribe, because she's got 10 health cares anyone can do, how to eat healthy on a budget. And what's your next video going to be that you're producing?
It's going to be healthy hacks to save you time. Because if you're anything like me, you are a very busy person and you need things that can help you on your time management. And so just some of my top tips that I do that have saved me time, which will hopefully help you too.
That's what I'm talking about. I can use some time saving.
Right. We all can, right? Because time is precious.
Time is precious, especially when you have to take your sleep. You can't take your sleep lying down. You have to take it in the cup.
Right. Yeah. No, it's almost my bedtime, because Saturdays are my early long runs.
At least I have a beautiful cup.
It's true. You do have a beautiful cup. Yeah.
Y'all don't know this is her children, my grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm in here with them in this photograph here, if you can see.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I got the other granddaughter. My son's daughter's in that photograph too.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one right there next to my hat. All my grandchildren.
I think you're wearing the same hat today.
Yeah, that's true. All my grandchildren in that photo right there. Probably the same shirt. No, it's not the same shirt, but oh, maybe. Interesting. I think it is. Coincidentally, just coincidentally.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
that was made what during our last holiday season,
Yeah, that was last Thanksgiving.
last Thanksgiving. So
Mhm.
that's plenty to give thanks for. And
Yeah.
I like what it says down here. Anyway, so Randy, sorry I came in late. Granddaughter had to be fed. Amen to that. So yeah, we're talking plenty about family here. Oh, they made a remake of Total Recall. And PCG Terry says, beautiful family. Well, thank you. Thank you. I like to read my comments in here. Frozen vegetables, Rock, says Brian. Well, frozen vegetables probably are better than canned vegetables.
True. True. I mean, there's a hierarchy, but yes, frozen is better than canned. Um, so, but you have to do the best that you can. My whole theory is like, buy the best that you can afford. If you can't afford the pasture eggs, buy the cage-free organic eggs. Like it's buy the best that you can. If you can't buy, and sometimes frozen vegetables are great. Like they will pick them and they're organic too if you buy the right ones, and they'll just flash freeze them when they pick them, which helps preserve their the nutrients in them. Like I always keep frozen berries in my freezer to put in my smoothies.
Yeah.
But if I can grow my own berries, which is the idea, and then I can freeze my own berries, and then I can use my berries because I live in Houston and we can have a garden year round here.
There you go. You're around.
And apparently blueberries grow really well in Houston from my research. So I want blueberries and I want strawberries and probably raspberries.
Granddad grew a lot of blueberries. He had a lot of blueberry bushes around his house, scuppernines. And when I was growing up, we had a big strawberry patch, and I actually picked strawberries and sold them. I bought my first bicycle selling strawberries.
Yeah.
And we were organic. Oh yeah, by the way, I think that looks like a Norman Rockwell picture. What do you think, guys? That to me has kind of a Norman Rockwell air to it. There's Jessica and her two beautiful babies a year ago. So I can't wait.
They're just a little bigger now.
I can't wait to see them here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They're
definitely bigger.
I'm all excited.
They're growing like weeds.
So y'all going to be wanting to tour the Space and Rocket Center?
Yes, Braden loves that sort of thing. So he is super excited. So that's what we want to do on probably Friday. So it'll be
space. Well, gosh, imagine that.
it'll be fun. So he loves that. He loves science. It's his favorite subject, other than, like I think art is his favorite. Like if he had to choose one, it would be art, but his core subjects he says science is his favorite.
Well,
he wants to be as of right now, a paleontologist.
Oh,
it's his current, dream.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I was interested in at his age, strangely enough.
Yeah, he loves dinosaurs. We have lots and lots. We have herds of dinosaurs in our house.
That's funny. Well, he's all boy. He's definitely that. He loves the dinosaurs and things like that. So
yeah, that's right. Adeline's all girl. Like she loves. Now she's getting into Barbies. So we're starting to collect Barbies now. We have millions of babies. It feels like it's like baby dolls forever.
Yeah, and you were all into Barbies, and I think I still got a bunch of your Barbie stuff under the house somewhere.
Yeah, no, she loves them. So that's her favorite new toy is our Barbies.
Yeah.
So we'll probably be buying Barbies for the next at least 8 years, probably.
Wow. So yeah, and I don't know if that stuff under the house, I don't know if it's worth cleaning off or not. It's probably
not.
might be worth investigating, but
it's been a few years since I played with Barbie.
Probably need to be bleached. Been
yeah.
House that long.
You could probably just get rid of those.
Your favorite toys for years and years.
Yes, they were. I loved them.
Well, I tell you what, I'm really happy to see where you're going. What's your goals? Oh
gosh, I have lots of goals. My for personally, like I do want to, I'm going to continue and get my health coach certification, and then eventually launch a health coaching business is one of my goals, and to help the people in my community. And I don't know how far that'll go because that's at least a year down the road. So I haven't completely mapped that out in my brain yet, but I want to do that because I really do want to help people with their holistic health, and especially one-on-one coaching, because I feel like that's where magic can happen. Because if you can truly sit down with somebody and help them, it's very meaningful and can change a lot of lives. It's about a ripple effect, it's like when you drop a little petal in the water and it, so that's one of my goals. I want to continue baking and exploring my creativity side. I'm going to run another marathon, probably not in January of 2023 is what I'm aiming for. There's a really good one in Houston in January, so it's cold. I'm not going to do the one in March again because it was hot, and no thank you. 26 miles in the heat is no fun. I don't understand why they do the summer. I really think that they did the Winter Olympics and the Summer Olympics, right? So they had the Summer Olympics and they put the marathon in the Summer Olympics. It's wrong. The marathon should be in the Winter Olympics, not the Summer Olympics. Coming from a runner's point of view, but I don't make the rules. So
we live in a very hot community down in Houston area. It is hot. And
it is
it's
hot.
Humid. Hot.
Yes. So we run at 5 a.m. So which is why it's almost my bedtime because it's Friday night. I don't go out. I go to sleep on Friday night so I can wake up and run. Although tomorrow I'm not running. I'm going to start at 6 tomorrow because it's a little cooler and I don't have that far to go.
All right. Well, I tell you what, with that, we probably ought to call it a night, call it a video. I use the term video because I got it from a program. Only one of my viewers has figured it out, but I had to give her a major hint. No, I actually had to tell her, that was my favorite show. And I got she's in the chat room right now. She knows what I'm talking to.
Well, thanks. This was fun.
Absolutely. It was fun. I love you. I love you. I love your whole family, Kyle and the babies. So give them all big hugs for me when they get home.
Oh, I will. We love you too. And we'll see you soon in person.
Amen. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited.
Yeah. The kids are excited.
Good. And again, everyone, that's part of what helps you with your mental adjustment and well-being is just community, family. It matters. Family matters, guys. And somebody's picking on me now. Really, Greg? Somebody's picking on me. I'm in trouble. Anyway, so let's see here. Boston Marathon is first or second Sunday in October. Whoa, that's a long way up.
It is. You have to run really fast to qualify for Boston. Because you actually have to qualify to get into Boston. And there's a couple, which is like the elite, like that's the one that people strive for. And you basically have to finish like in my because it's by age and it's getting faster every year because people are running faster. I think right now it's in the 3-hour range. I forgot exactly. It's a lot faster than I'm running a marathon right now. Let's put it that way. One day it might happen one day. But yes, Boston is in October.
Well, don't overdo it. Don't stress yourself
right. Yes, because part of it is it's about finding the joy in it. So yes, I'm not going to kill myself to.
I think I overpushed it, kind of messed my foot up and my knee later. So, but I did love being outdoors in that aspect of it. I've always loved outdoors, and I'm glad to hear that y'all are getting into gardening. And you were sitting here telling me about how important soil is, and I'm thinking, wow, you're telling me this.
Well, I know, but yes, but now I know too. Yes, the soil is very important. Where your food is grown is very important, and how it's grown is even more important. So yes. Yeah.
Brian Perendia says the gods must be crazy. Oh, that was one of my favorite movies. That was funny. That was hilarious. Let's see. Scratch says the thought of running wears me out. Wow.
Yeah, you can walk. You don't have. I know everybody's not a runner, so I completely understand that. There's all sorts of things.
Well, we had a nice little chat here tonight. We had a nice chat in the chat room too. You can come back and watch the video afterwards and just see what people were saying. Hopefully we got 37 in the room now. Hopefully everybody go subscribe to Jessica's channel and hit that notification bell and click all, because we all need a positive pickup. We all need something to smile about, and she will give you good tips. I mean, you'll feel good after watching her video because she's so positive. It'll just infect you with happiness. And it will, and she's got all these good tips. I mean, just something to think about. I mean, you may know most of them, but there's going to be a little zinger or two in there that you're going to go, oh yeah. And sometimes you might be a little convicted by it, like this whole thing of sleeping. Man, what is that?
Sleep is very important.
You
actually get stronger when you sleep. That's where you build the muscles.
Yeah. About 10 years ago, I figured out I had more waking hours than my oldest brother, who's 10 years older than me. I've been awake a lot more than my oldest brother, who's 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
So I should be 80 years old now. Fortunately, I must have a good reserve of strength. I'm still pretty healthy in spite of all that. But,
well, maybe you should go to bed early tonight.
Well, I got to get up early to go to the farmer's market, and I probably will do another live session, but I got to go out and work some garlic stuff and do a few other things tonight. I haven't ate yet, so I got to go back outside and finish loading a couple things in my van. I got farmer's market tomorrow.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yes, but eating's important too. So yes.
We grow microgreens, and we're going to be doing mushrooms in the near future. So microgreens are very healthy for you. So I encourage everybody, grow your own food. I mean, it's good for your health. It's good for your mind, your spirit, your body. And we're coming to a day and age that food prices are really about to skyrocket. I'm seeing more stuff about how farmers are really hard pressed to buy fertilizer for next year, because fertilizer is made from propane. Propane is fuel. The cost is skyrocketed, and just a lot of the stuff these big farmers have to buy to run their farms, they're in trouble. But I don't use any of that. I got a worm farm. I make my own. I roll my own fertilizer. Roll your own, but it's all organic. It's all natural, and plants grow well in it. I don't need any chemicals. So everybody needs to follow that path and get away from that. And I hope to be selling worms again sometime in the spring, but I got to grow my herd back. So that's all things to pay attention to, guys. All right, DJ. Boy, I probably can't pronounce that right. Velaquez, hope I didn't say that wrong too badly. Says, I'm subbed, Green Greg, so she subbed to you. Very good. So he or she, I don't know who DJ is because it's hard to tell. So Busy Mountain, anyone have a farm to trade for? Well, you might always find that. So everybody, I really hope you're having a good time here. And you can, if you're gardening, a lot of my videos I put links to True Leaf Market. Go check those out. I'm bad about not posting links when I do a live session, but I might tonight. I just got so many things to run around and do here. So let's see what everybody else is saying. Paul,
another thing, if people can't have access to if they can't get to a farmer's market or they can't grow their own, you can always connect to one of your local farmers through a CSA, which is your community supported agriculture. So there's a lot of farmers that will sell to you directly, so you don't have to buy it from the store. And those are going to be organic farmers too. So that's a really good resource.
And I'm looking at launching that with our microgreens and then adding the mushrooms and other stuff into it as we go. So we're actually looking right at doing that. So
yeah, I found one local to us, but they had just closed it for the fall, so we have to wait until the spring. But hopefully by the spring we'll have our own garden, so it won't matter.
The microgreens, I can grow year round.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of the way I'm raising them. And I'll have to do a video from my microgreens trailer tonight, probably just to kind of show that. It probably won't be live. It'll probably be recorded video, because live videos don't do so well in a metal trailer.
Understandable.
Done that. All righty, Jessica, I love you. I love you, all the family. You're precious. All of you are. And you're inspirational.
Well, thank you.
And I hope you can be a positive light in this world. I know you are. And so let's spread this light, everybody. She's a beautiful, positive person, got a good heart. So let's help her spread the light. Subscribe and share videos. Share them. So Jessica, you take care. We're going to end this video.
You too. Thank you.
Love
Have a
you.
great night.
And
Love
thank
you
you, everybody
too.
in the chat room, all you super chatters and mods.
Thank you.
Good to see y'all. We're
I'll go
all-
back and read all the comments.
All right. Yeah, my viewers are they're just like family too. So you know
That's great. See, that's a good way to have community too, just right here.
yeah, we are a community, and in fact, that's
Yep.
why we do a lot of the videos we do. It's just to be a community. That's
Mhm.
that's the whole purpose of a lot of them. Anyway, thank you, Jessica. Love you. Y'all
All right.
take care. Hug the kids.
Hey,
Say hi.
I will.
And goodbye, everyone.